With the war raging on between Russia and Ukraine, US President Donald Trump has demanded Ukraine to provide its rare earth minerals as a compensation for the vast military aid provided by Washington. The US President said that the Ukraine is willing to supply the rare earth minerals while stressing on equalization for the near $300 billion military aid. However, there is no clarity on whether Trump's demands will include all critical minerals.
We're telling Ukraine they have very valuable rare earth. We want what we put up to go in terms of a guarantee. We want a guarantee. We're handing them money hand over fist. We're giving them equipment. European is not keeping up with us. They should equalize. And look, we have an ocean in between. They don't. It's more important for them than it is for us. But they're way below us in terms of money. And they should be paying at least equal. They should really be paying much more than us, but let's say equal to us, and they're billions and billions of dollars below.
Now, meanwhile, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said that the country has received only 42% or $76 billion of the total $177 billion military aid approved by the US Congress.
When I hear, and I heard it before, and today we hear from the United States of America that America has given Ukraine hundreds of billions, $177 billion, to put it more precisely. This is the exact figure that was supported or voted for by Congress, etc., and different organizations. Look, I, as a president of a warring country, tell you, we received more than $75 billion. That is $100 billion out of these $177 billion, or even $200 billion, as some people estimate, we never received.
Now, it's interesting to note that Zelensky also said that a major portion of US aid has been given directly to Ukrainian organizations to support a variety of initiatives, including veteran support. The Ukrainian president's comments comes after US President Trump issued an order freezing all foreign aid distributed through the State Department for 90 days, shortly after assuming office. Now, on the war front, North Korean troops are reportedly not fighting alongside Russian soldiers near Kursk since mid-January. Now, this according to the South Korean spy agency, National Intelligence Service, NIS, claiming that North Korean troops have been withdrawn from combat due to heavy losses. Now, for more on this, we are joined by political analyst David Dunn, who is a professor of international politics in the Department of Political Science and International Studies at the University of Birmingham. Thank you so much, Mr. Dunn, for joining us today on the broadcast.
Good to be here.
So let me start by asking that Trump has repeatedly vowed to end Russia's full-scale war on Ukraine. And now as the conflict is entering the fourth stage, with Trump actually giving out a lot of aggressive orders which are not a threat anymore. And now in the backdrop of that, how do you see this equalization tactic panning out for both the nations? And how would that affect the bilateral ties between Ukraine and the United States?
Well, what we've seen is that Trump has moved away from his rather bizarre claim that he could end the war within 24 hours. And what he's done is appoint a General Kellogg, to spend 6 months or so looking at ways to win the war, and he's called on Russia to stop its aggression. But what it looks like is that he is more interested in bringing the war to a close rather than a particularly just settlement. But simply calling on Russia to stop its invasion is unlikely to bring about a result. Most people speculate that what will likely happen is that there will be some form of ceasefire, but it's not clear whether Russia will be willing to support that, because just now they're making territorial gains and they see the support of Ukraine from the United States having weakened, and therefore they may feel that they can carry on. Nor is it clear that Zelensky will necessarily agree to the terms that Trump seems to be wanting to impose, because for them it's a matter of life and death.
Right. Building on that, Mr. Dunn, I want to ask that how would you anticipate this quid pro quo actually materializing, and what all would it entail?
Well, this is typical Trump. He is very transactional. He is very much America first, and therefore he looks at the fact that Congress has pledged all this aid to Ukraine, and he wants something back. For him, it's not enough that actually America is defending the free world against Russian aggression. For Trump, it's the bottom line that seems to count, and therefore he is calling for a quid pro quo with regard to these rare earth materials. Now, from Ukraine's perspective, the fact that actually Trump has a material interest in Ukraine is probably seen as a good thing, because he wouldn't then want all of Ukraine to be overrun by Russia if he thinks that he would then lose out from getting rare earth materials from Ukraine in return. And they are so desperate at this stage that they're probably happy to agree for there to be a quid pro quo, because that's a thing that will take a long time down the road, because just now those rare earth materials aren't mined. But if they can pledge that they will repay, then hopefully that will give Trump, say, that stake in Ukraine that he doesn't otherwise have. But it grates a bit. The Europeans and other countries are giving unconditional aid to Ukraine, but Trump is Trump. He comes at it like a real estate mogul rather than a principled politician.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Dunn, for sharing with our viewers the complexities of this issue at hand and sharing your perspective with us. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.